February 2nd, 2025. Yesterday in Carrollton, I seen a lot of the vehicles. So when we went to go in the restaurant, I played that video of Michelle being part of the Florida drug cartel and how she lied to everyone that I threatened her. And how that guy showed up where I was working outside. You could hear him. That he found out the guy that was paying for all the harassment, where they said some rich guy named Will was paying for it. I still think it's Bill from the Freemasons because the Freemasons confronted him. Okay. That he was the one that dated Michelle. Now, I've heard his voice around me for 6 years. That's how not funny this is. I don't know who he is, but I've heard his voice around me for 6 years. Okay. That he found out that I didn't threaten her. I didn't even know who she was. Then it comes down, and then that other guy from Maslin that was helping him get away with crimes found out I didn't threaten her either, and I didn't know who she was. Now, I have a question. If you thought I threatened someone, why didn't you ask me? Because even that guy that was supposed to be dating her, why didn't he come up and say, I want to ask you why you threatened my girlfriend? I'd say, sir, I don't even know you. Why is she lying to you? The guy in Maslin, why wouldn't you ask me? And I'd say, if you would have said the name Michelle, I would have said the only Michelles I know is my next door neighbor, real sweetheart. And I know Michelle Calgo. I think one of Dave's nieces that divorced his nephew, Bruce, was named Michelle too. I think I know 3. So, and I hadn't talked to Michelle Calgo in years. So, what are you talking about? And I talked to that other girl in years and years and years and years too. And my next door neighbor thought very highly of me. So, what are you talking about? See what I mean? Nobody even asked me. See, and her threatening to want him to pay for someone to take care of me because now I'm supposed to have insulted her. She's a Jeffrey Dahmer. She sells women and children for sex license to be murdered. What are you doing dating her? And you just found, and that guy being outside, my client saying he just found out she was sleeping with other men wearing other men's clothes. The guy's like, I heard her say it. Why didn't you tell him at 19 instead of her letting it make him a fool out of and spend a lot of his money on paying people to harass me? And why are you paying people to harass me? Because your girlfriend said, I threatened her and I never talked to her. Then you got to think was the daughter of a main human trafficker. That's like mafia. She had those drug cartel guys around her all the time. You threaten somebody like that, they take you out and kill you. It's like threatening the mafia. Are you nuts? That's where I bet my ex-husband didn't even know her. Like that guy said, he was the one that dated Michelle. My ex-husband only made $100,000. Then I want to even ask this question to the guy in Maslin where I heard you the other day in Walmart. That you just found out it was a medication error that made me sick before. You just found out Terry Coberly almost seen me being kidnapped, or had seen me been almost kidnapped. And you found out it was a medication error, made me sick before, and you found out I didn't even know who Michelle was, and that it was a sexual predator, a drug dealer, and a rapist in my home before. Who the hell are you? And then where Josh had told me the guy in Maslin that was helping him get away with crimes wasn't there anymore, where you said, So Dad fled the country the next day. So where you said he called down, you told your people to tell him that you weren't there anymore because you weren't going to deal with him. We've been divorced for 4 years. Divorce was over 4 years ago. You know, he was the one in contempt of court for not paying the part he swore to a judge that he would. There's a court order from a judge. He was not to interfere in my life ever again. So why were you breaking the law? You're going to say they lied to you and manipulated you? Well, the police said that they'd never say anything to her. She has rights. Why didn't you know? You can't be an attorney because you got to think. You didn't know I had rights being a woman? Come on. What would you say? You arrested the predators? I want you to think how evil Dave is. Before he would divorce me, hired drug dealers to break in my home and cyberstalk me. Tape me in the bathroom showering. Asine's done of photoshopping, washing in the other room. But he let the drug cartel guys get in our house. That means he had to give them a key. Lace drinks when I was out of the room. I didn't know they were there. Beat and rape me. Tell me say stuff. I'm his wife. Stab me with date rape drugs and the same thing. Now, how evil is he? Fake sodium pentothal reports. I've never seen her talk to anybody. I thought the dirty well water was giving me cancer. If you think it's funny drug beating, raping women, human trafficking them out of their home, drugging them up and telling them to say something stupid, you think it's funny harming women and then selling kiddie porn or little kids going potty? People on porn sites? These are severe crimes, federal crimes. Why were you helping in evil crimes? I heard you off in the distance say better be ordering emergency funds. You do realize yesterday, every first of the month, that agent, he didn't open just an informant case. He opened a protective life case with threats and attempt of life. That's where my friend from the prosecutor's office. You don't realize you're in one of the many witness protection programs. These people tried to kill you. They could wait and try to kill you again. You could never get out of protective custody your whole life. He opened a witness protection program with threat and attempt of life. And until the FBI puts you in another witness protection program, you'll stay informant for life. Informants are different. They stay yourself and you feed them information. You get the money for risking your life to get the government information they owe you for the rest of your life. You know where the witness protection program, where people are trying to kill people, and they come, hide them, change their name. The government takes care of them for the rest of their life. That's what he opened. He took at least $5,000, and if he ended, they can only put money, immunity, living and housing expenses in a medical card. And if you put the living and housing expenses, he may have stole $8,000 yesterday. And like a criminal attorney, prosecutor's office, and police I talked to, he can't make up his own restrictions. Due to the freedom of speech, it takes a judge to put a gag order on you. No judge can sign anything but money and immunity. While the living and housing expenses and medical card too. But that's it. They can't make up restrictions. Due to the freedom of speech, you can tell whoever you want. I said, but he already told on me. And he was seen by people and the police, and he admitted on a recorded line. He already talked to everybody and told everybody. I called the FBI hotline before he talked to me. He said he can't tell on you, but you can tell whoever you want. He can't open his mouth. He don't have that kind of authority. He's only a police officer. He's a higher one, but only a police officer. Hmm? And the police know they can't go along with it due to the freedom of speech. And what these people did is a fraud scheme where they laugh in your face in front of people. They photoshopped a shower scene and washing in the other room. They probably did. It's clicking and pasting. Where you had all the signs of being drugged, beaten, raped, seen by the doctor. They probably were drugging you up and telling you to say something stupid, then beating, raping you. And then you didn't see or talk to anybody, but you're going to the doctor with injuries and no memory of what happened. They probably were drugging you up and telling you to say something stupid. Now think how evil Dave is. Before he'll divorce me, he hired a drug dealer, a sexual predator, a rapist from the drug cartel. That he had me drugged for fake confessions, being raped by strange men. Come out of it and not even know what happened, why you got all these injuries. Going to the doctor, what on earth is wrong with me? And I thought I had cancer from the dirty well water. Kept telling the doctor, I think it's the dirty well water, making me sick. I have bruises all over me, orange, lemon, grapefruit size. My private area is so swollen I can't even hardly go to the bathroom. Documented by the doctor. Migraine, headache, throwing up. Lost 18 pounds in 2 months. Being harmed by the drug cartel. Being human trafficked out of my own home. And that agent didn't arrest him. Do you know if you hire someone to harm someone? It's hiring a hitman. It is a federal crime to hire Pete on his own. With me getting hurt. Hiring Pete is 10 years. Getting harmed is 20. If you die, it's life. Conspiracy to commit murder is a federal crime. An attempted murder. Drugging somebody for fake confessions is racketeering. A federal crime. Photoshop, taking naked pictures or trying to find personal information on somebody, trying to extort money or get them in trouble, is sextortion and cyberstalking. Illegal monitoring is a federal felony invasion of privacy and felony stalking. And then you got kiddie porn of little kids going potty. What was that agent to do? And then you got to think, even their scenario that they paid off a dirty doctor to say something stupid about you. See, that's where this whole thing of it is. Like my one neighbor said, it's so absurd what they're saying. No one could do it. So ridiculous. Drugged confessions, photoshopping, washing, stocking tapes. And then the thought, HIPAA violations. Your doctor is sworn. It's part of the privacy laws. They can never talk to you without your consent. Okay? It's 1 to 5 years, $250,000 fine. You can sue them up to $1.5 million. Now they're saying they're going to pay off one of the dirty doctors from before. Well, what they're saying is they had one of them on their payroll. The occult did. The ones where you have brain tumors and I didn't have epilepsy, didn't have lupus. They're causing all the signs of brain tumors, need brain surgery. And they're chemically inducing everything, heart attacks, everything. And it took another doctor telling them how they were known for doing this. But one of them was on the cult payroll to write up a false diagnosis. And one of those dirty doctors that almost killed me were on the cult's payroll. And they were with the cult and ready to go against me. They would end up, like some guy said in a restaurant, no one can believe that church would even try something like that. They'd all end up in jail. Yeah. Because the whole thing, we'll have a dirty doctor write up, she's insane. Where's a court order? It takes a judge. You have a right to a competency hearing. See, that's where people said they thought they could just pay off a dirty doctor. And they found out she would have a right to a competency hearing, her own attorney and her own doctor. Insanity and mental illness is not curable. It's not. You have to have a competency hearing. The judge has to find you mentally ill or mentally insane. They set up a guardian, a social worker, Social Security disability. And until then, it's just somebody's personal opinion. And it can be disputed. And once it's disputed, it's fraud. And then they go to jail for defrauding that person. See, you're not thinking. Like they said, when people realized she would have a right to a competency hearing, they couldn't do it. They didn't find any of this funny. Where did you? Somebody making up that they could do that. Think about what you're saying. That the cult already had a dirty doctor on a payroll. See, some other lady used my insurance for 15 years. Hard to tell what doctor she's seen. Half my medical records are hers. Like they said, one investigator already realized with them having some other lady using her insurance, they were setting her up the whole time. I know that now. Now you think about how evil Dave is.